you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
It has been 60 years since the Packers and Chiefs met down in Southern California in what would come to be known as the first Super Bowl. But now, at modern Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, we are counting down to Super Bowl 60. And we've got a great matchup in store. Tonight, it is all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion New England Patriots taking on the NFC champions. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis, and what a season it's been for our AFC champions. And this was a fight just to get to the Super Bowl. You got to figure that they are very battle-tested and ready.
I'd agree with you 100% about that. You don't get there without having those types of attributes, and that's what you look for in a Super Bowl team. Character, confidence. These guys don't lack for either one of those. Now they're here. Now they're ready to win.
Meanwhile, our NFC champions, they have gone through a lot to get where they are. Everybody knows their story this season. What's the key for them as they start this Super Bowl?
Let's go full cliche on this one because it works. Remember what got you here. Been a winning formula all season long. This is a team that when we saw them in the preseason, we said they look like a group that has what it takes to be a Super Bowl winning team. And we've been proven right by what we've seen throughout the season.
Their meeting in Super Bowl 49 was thrilling. What's in store here? The Pats and Seahawks are underway. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. So here come the Patriots now to take over on offense. And they are led out there by their mobile quarterback.
And there are a lot of quarterbacks who had terrific careers. Think about guys like Phillip Rivers, Randall Cunningham, Dan Fouts, Warren Moon. But they never got to a Super Bowl. Yet here he is in his second NFL season, already getting his chance. I mean, harken back to Dan Marino, another superstar, made it in his second year, lost the game, and never made it back again.
And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. 41 yards rushing for him now on their opening drive in the Super Bowl. He's been reliable all year, and he continues that reliability here on the biggest stage.
And when we were in a production meeting with the offensive coordinator, didn't he kind of mention, maybe even smile about the idea of running the football? It's worked well for them.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it'll be second down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
May going to give it to Henderson. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
They'll run here with Henderson, and that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes the defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
From the gun, it's May. Now he'll tuck this and run. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
It hasn't been a real good start to this game from a defensive perspective, but now after the incompletion on second down, things may be changing. If they can come up with one more play, they might be able to get out of it with just a field goal attempt.
A big one here early in this Super Bowl. It's 3rd and goal. Here's May. And this is caught. Touchdown, Patriots. A 9-yard touchdown ground. And the Patriots are on the board first here in this Super Bowl. That was a big throw right there on 3rd and goal.
And the defense has to be prepared for you to throw the ball on 3rd and goal. Because really, 2nd down, 2nd and goal, that's your play action time, and you're not sure whether they're going to run it or throw it. 3rd down, you're usually sure they're probably going to pass it. Even more impressive that they got it done, and on the opening drive of the game.
Now Andres Borregales for the extra point. And he gets it to make it 7-0 Patriots. That time a 6-play drive. And it ends with a New England touchdown. Following the touchdown, Borregales back out to send this one away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by the 3rd overall selection back in 2018 from USC. It's Sam Darnold.
As we begin the Super Bowl, we're looking at one of the game's most important players. And whether he's the centerpiece of the offense or taking a backseat to his teammates, offenses always look to the quarterback to be a leader in moments like this. He's got to be that calm, composed pillar out there who stays level-headed and keeps everyone focused on the task at hand.
He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6. And now that sets up 3rd and 2. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him. That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Patriots take over. So back onto the field come the Pats for their 2nd drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. From the shotgun, May with it. Short pass caught by Henry. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that, 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Henderson now on 1st and 10. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
He's tackled at the 34-yard line. A gain of 4.
We've got a lot more ahead of us here in Super Bowl 60. 2nd quarter coming your way next. 7-0 is our score. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. Appreciate everyone joining us. Super Bowl 60 here tonight. Time to begin the second quarter. Brandon Gardner alongside Charles Davis up in the booth as we get set to resume play. 67 yards rushing for him now in the first half of this Super Bowl.
And this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They'll throw with May. So just 3 yards on the completion there, and that'll make it second down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Up the middle, it's Henderson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
Brings up third down and 7.
The free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle?
From the shotgun, it's May. A throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
Incomplete on the throw.
Yeah, that's a nice job there defensively to blanket those receivers on third down. And as a quarterback, all you can do is just loft one toward the bench, not too close, mind you, and live to punt the football.
So on fourth down, here's Bryce Behringer on to punt for the Patriots. Back deep, Rashid Shaheed. And that will hit and continue on out of bounds. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like, because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Darnold down to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Yeah, that's a nice pickup.
Now Mike Vrabel not too happy with that last call, and out comes a challenge flag.
The previous play is under review.
Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. It. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
The fumble on first down. Now here's second down. Two minutes on the clock in the second quarter of this Super Bowl. From the 42-yard line, here's second down and 7. First carry here for Kenneth Walker III. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Better ball security, but not much else to show for it. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. That's to the left sideline and incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's fourth down.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
On fourth down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Well, the Patriot offense back out, getting set to go. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. And we'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
We're going to throw. May. And pass complete. Here's Butte with it. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down for a nice little gain. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a second and short. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. To throw, it's May. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. From the gun on third down, it's May. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have the Patriots first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. Throwing here is May. Looking outside, and he's got a man. That's Douglas. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
48-yard line.
Second down and a little more than a yard here. To the air, May. Open man here, the tight end, Henry. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Hunter Henry as the first half is winding down. And the Patriots continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
The extra point now for Borregales. And it's good to make it 14-0. So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards. And it's finished off by a Pats touchdown. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. And the Seahawks offense going to get one final possession in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Clock at 20 seconds to go in the half as they come up 1st and 10. Play action. It's Darnold. That'll be taken in by Shaheed. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Now a 2nd and 2. Darnold. Throw out wide to Walker. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they're having panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. A shotgun snap for Darnold. He'll find Shaheed out to the right. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. Myers' kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So 2 quarters in the books here in Santa Clara. The Super Bowl 60 halftime straight ahead with Scott Hanson.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the Orlando studios. Scott Hanson with you for a quick halftime report. We'll let both sides catch their breath and get their orange wedges as we're going to get ready for the third quarter action. So let's go back out to the stadium as we rejoin our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Scott, thanks very much. And we welcome all of you back here on EA Sports for quarter number 3. These 2 teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. And he's up past the 20 with the 22-yard line. The Seahawks offense set to go to begin this third quarter. And right now, their chances of hoisting that Lombardi trophy not looking too great, but perhaps that long halftime, maybe it did them a world of good.
But if there's ever a chance to regroup, it's in this game, right? Because you do have that long halftime, a chance to really assess things and maybe make some changes and true adjustments. They played great all year long. That was the worst first half of the season for them. They're hoping to put it behind them and come out punching here in the second half.
Setting up the screen here, this is Walker. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
Well, they've certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
Walker now at 1st and 10. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 37. Back to throw, Darnold. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
Here's Darnold. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
Well, if they have any designs of getting back into this football game in the second half, they're going to need to be much sharper offensively than they were on this opening possession. Not much happening here, and it'll lead to a fourth down.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And shedding through the tackle. A punt of 46, a return of 5. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So here are the Patriots now. They get ready for their first possession of half number 2. Looking to put a drive together. They'll start on the ground with Henderson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Douglas, the man in motion. Here's a 2nd and 7. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Back to throw here. They set up the screen for Henderson. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. That'll be a New England 1st down, a gain of 12.
That's good for a Patriots 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide, and these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
On 1st down, it's Henderson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 84 yards rushing for him now, a big part of why they lead in this Super Bowl.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7 reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. There's Stephon Diggs for the catch on the slant. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And it's 2nd down.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 39. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. First carry now for Ramondre Stevenson. And he'll be taken down after a decent gain, and that will bring us to the end of this 3rd quarter of play. Up next, the biggest quarter of the entire season. At the end of that, we get to crown a champion. We are through 3 here in Super Bowl 60. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Only 1 quarter left here in Super Bowl 60 as we get set to begin the 4th. Only one quarter left here in Super Bowl 60 as we get set to begin the fourth. This 2nd and 4. The tight end Henry here in motion. From the shotgun, they run with Henderson. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the 4th quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage, because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional.
And he's over the line and into the end zone for a Patriots score. Trevion Henderson. It's a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Patriots are feeling good as they extend their lead in the Super Bowl.
Well, he'd been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
Borregales now for the extra point. And it's 21-3. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it ends with a New England touchdown. Following the touchdown, Borregales back out to send this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And it's becoming more and more apparent that this is just not going to be their night. That Lombardi trophy so close, but the expectations simply have not matched the results as they start on this drive, 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. To throw is Darnold. Left side, he finds Smith-Njigba. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
2nd and 5. Now it's Darnold. Over the middle and complete to Shaheed. A 5-yard pass on 1st down and another 5-yard connection there.
1st down, Seattle.
Now Darnold. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 1st down, Seattle on a pickup of 13. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or really something that feels a little bit cheap. But they trim that lead down to just 2 scores. That's still a benefit to this squad.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. From the 41, this is 2nd and a yard. Darnold from the gun. Repeated the last play, finding Walker. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Throwing again is Darnold. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Darnold. He'll get this complete to the tight end Barner. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Again, Darnold. He'll try to pick it up himself, and he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. That'll go as a pickup of 8.
It certainly appears that he's been able to get a read on how they've wanted to contain him in this game. He's seen some places where he can beat them in big spots, and right there, he slides in with ease for the first down.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Gets this complete to Shaheed. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game.
At the 12-yard line.
Now 2nd and 3. Darnold now to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And the Seahawks are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
A quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
On 2nd and goal, Darnold, touchdown! Jackson Smith and Jigba from 6 yards away. And the Seahawks are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, you know,
it doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
So 2 scores down, time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And the Patriots are going to recover, and that should just about assure victory. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. And it's another Super Bowl title for the New England Patriots. And when this moment comes, I think you look back at all the blood, sweat, and tears, the offseason, the workouts, training camp, week 1, 2, 3, all building up now to say you're a Super Bowl champion. It's worth it.
It certainly is, and rarely do we have a team that hoists the Lombardi Trophy that didn't have their share of bumps along the way, didn't have to face some adversity